play inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Oh, batted at the line and intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
Brandon, I wonder if someone's down there checking on the head coach right now, because he might be a little bit of shock after what just transpired. Instead of a lengthy opening drive to deal with, his guy stepped up and stole that drive away. Momentum on their side now. How will they attack on offense?
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. They run again with Harris. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And the Steelers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. 1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Harris, touchdown, Pittsburgh. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that makes the score 7-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. On the return from his end zone is Grant. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Cleveland offense ready to go. In the first drive, they were moving the ball okay. Then the interception. Now time to regroup after giving up the score.
Yeah, I noticed him on the sidelines talking with one of his coaches, and they were comparing the pictures, right? You get the photos, what the defense was doing. They were carving it up pretty well, as you noted. I think they focused a lot on, okay, what happened on the interception ball, seeking to avoid it in the future.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Watson. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up 3rd and 1. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The Browns at 2-0 here to begin the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. To throw is Watson. They set up the screen to Chubb. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On the move to his left. Noah Fant with a catch on the crossing route. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. They'll run with Chubb. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. He's going to get it again. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
They'll run for it. Chubb, and he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Now Cade York for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Pickett to his tight end, Freiermuth for the Steeler first. Harris running straight ahead. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Here's Pickett. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Pickett. He's going to air one out. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up. As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it, and oftentimes knock it away.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. He's got Anderson on the slant. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now a 2nd down and 6. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he is going to have the Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Scramble drill there, partner. Some teams have some pretty good rules for it. Others are just saying make sure you work your way back into the sight lines of your quarterback, even if you take the play deep. And that's what they attempted to do on that one.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So that challenge, a successful one. They'll give it to Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Browns will take the lead here in the final minute of the 1st half. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the 1st half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Now the Steelers use the 1st of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this 1st half. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Back to throw, Pickett. A throw left side, caught by the tight end, Freiermuth.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Good, clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3-and-out.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. They find some open field here. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. Fielded right around the 8. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. But Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Off play action. Pickett. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. That was J.J. Watt getting in there and getting him to the ground.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. The Browns drive about to get started. They begin this drive with Chubb. They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Watson. This is the tight end fan. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here we go on 4th. Watson rolling to his left. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on fourth down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. 66 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson sliding out of the pocket. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but the flag comes out for interference.
And now you're set up right on the doorstep of the goal line. 1 yard away changes what your play calls are going to be.
Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Chubb, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb taking it in from a yard out, and the Browns go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by York is up and good, and it's now 21-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. First down, and they go back to Harris. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Pickett got an open man. It's Pickens. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run again with Harris. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. The 71 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They run the play fake. Here's Pickett. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Pickett, 4th down, desperation time. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Pat Freiermuth, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Boswell good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Here's Watson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And taken down just shy of the 40. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get hot.
Out to his left. He's got his tight end fan. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Watson now to throw. They'll roll him out right. Into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
Now Watson. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. And that touchdown, Charles, with very little time remaining, boy, it just sucked any energy and momentum out of the other sideline.
Yeah, take an incredible comeback in the final minute to bring this one back to even. A great series there offensively. They saw an opportunity to slam the window shut, and they followed through.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken from about the 12. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me,
he's got a man complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Looking to throw here. Pickett. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
He's going to take another shot here. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by John Johnson. And the Browns are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
and he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities, and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels. They take the ball away. They change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for Cleveland, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get the weekend off now as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they'll fall to 1-2, and they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, alongside.
Got your best friend hanging out the arm, though. Got game like I'm dropping me a console. jets while I soak up my success. Getting tokens for your dress. I'll be making all the checks anytime you see me skating on the stage. Acting real soft, let my skin come in beige. Gonna step out and with him, girl, you fake. Try to get it out, what you handsome. You ain't dance on. Tell your boyfriend, go and put your pants on. Down. The best friend. She wouldn't do the same thing. She won't know. Everything has gotta be cool when we living so cold. Feel it in your bones. You ain't gonna feel it till I'm gone.